in the Brocliners again, motherfuckers. Yes, it's back and sexy, known as the Bro Plata. I am Ray Hyclak. To my right, I finally have figured this shit out, which is nice. I can point in the right direction, which is wonderful because it helps me. This lovely, sexy beast, this awesome, hairy man, I call him a Tim Danko. Tim Danko, how are you?
I'm solid, Ray. Ray, I'm not really that hairy. I'm only really hairy from like the neck up. I'm not a hairy dude naturally.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I know when you see maybe this face, you're thinking this is a hairy guy. I'm not a hairy guy. I mean, I don't have a little bit on the chest, not too much. I don't have really any back hair. I'm not a hairy dude. My legs aren't even like overly hairy.
Really?
I'm not a hairy dude. Yeah, I mean they're normal. It's not like so bald that there's a problem. Like
you're not alopeciaing it.
No, alopecia legs or anything like that. No, like not his T is so low that he has no leg hair. No, it's not that. It's just normal, I guess. Not super thick, but yeah, up here. Neck up, that's where the glorious
just so awesome
hair is. I think so. Yeah. Oh, you know what I just hit 2 days ago? 4 years. 4 years it's been since I had a haircut.
Really?
Yeah.
4 years.
4 years now, yeah.
See, I'm a hair guy. I like my hair the way it is. I've got a nice mob boss look to me.
You got like a white trash pompadour going.
Yeah.
Right now, with the headphones on.
It's a use an inside reference, and I love this guy right off the bat. I'm like Joe Howard before he got sober, like, or ish per se. Like,
that, and he stopped dyeing his hair too, right?
Yeah,
both those things.
And he looks good.
No, I like it. He's a good look. The guy, he's always had a cool look.
Oh yeah, man. Joe's one of my favorite guys. He, when I first was a doorman at the Improv, I actually got to see him and Chad Zumach as hosts and features when they were like first coming up. This was like, God, like over 6 years ago now that this happened. And I love Joe Howard because of that Abby and Brittany joke that he does.
Oh yeah.
I love that
Joe Howard is a comic, everybody. If you don't know, for anyone who's listening who doesn't know, he's a comedian from Cleveland. Check him out. He's funny.
He's so awesome. He runs with like Jim Florentine, all those kind of guys. If you're a Florida listener, he's been to the Tampa Improv a lot with Jim Florentine. So he's definitely a guy that I think like needs to be like pushed way more into the stratosphere, in my opinion, because of how fucking funny he really is, dude. Like, I love Joe Howard, man. Good times. But again, thank you for listening and watching on various platforms. You can find us at Bro Plata as well on our social medias, pretty much anywhere that we can throw our voices. We can be there. We are also on a myriad of streaming services for audio, including Podcast Addict, Spotify, Anchor FM, and also Google and Apple Podcasts. Thank you guys for listening. Our last episode got us almost to 200 plays in literally just a day. We had about a 21-point bump in our listeners. So thank you guys very much for having that, and please share us out. Get us to your MMA friends, and we will lull them into an amazing sense of security, knowing they are not alone in how crazy their fandom for MMA is, and we appreciate that. So,
Ray, you got to plug that imaginary website again, man. I like
we got to do
that.
BroPlata.com. Actually, I might be talking to somebody about that, and we.
All right. Well, I mean, we can buy the domain name for like $1, right? But we have to build a website, which we don't know how to do.
Well, yeah, but that's where we would hire somebody, hopefully, to do it for like maybe just credit at this point.
That's all we have is credits.
Yeah, we can give you producer credits all day.
Just don't look at our credit scores. Don't do that.
No. Like, I just got an email saying there was a change to it. I don't know what it was either, so I'm kind of scared. But
what's your credit score? 500. 500. That's it could be worse. So, no. That's me and Ray combined. That's the that's the Bro Plata credit score.
I would bring it down. Like, I myself would bring it down 100 points, maybe like 450, 100, like 400. Like, I think I would be the one to be like, oh wait, I can't be a signer on the apartment. No, I don't want. I want to be somewhere.
Yeah, that's gonna be a thing. Oh, there it is. Boom! Show bomb.
Show bomb of the day, brought to you by what's our sponsor again? The
What? Oh,
anal
Walter's anal bleach suppositories.
to make
Ray,
to make sure your butthole is as bright as the sun.
Ray, Ray. I just saw. I don't know when it is, but they announced it relatively recently. Shogun, who is fighting Paul Craig, and I wish it was a main event, just so I could see that poster. It just says Shogun versus Bear Jew.
I am excited for that one. I saw that earlier in a group on Facebook, and that's gonna be a wild ass fight, man. Like Paul Craig is already a Scottish lunatic to begin with, so I love that guy. He's one of my favorite fighters right now. Is Paul Craig?
Yeah, Shogun still got something in him. I mean, he showed that when he fought Little Nog.
Yeah,
A couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, whenever it was.
I think it was a couple months ago. Yeah, that was an Abu Dhabi fight. I think was that an Abu Dhabi or was that the Apex?
I think it was the Apex.
Okay, I will.
I think it was the card before the last pay per view. I think.
Oh yeah, it was at the Apex. Yeah.
Well, Ray, this card tomorrow, Ray.
Well, no, actually, I wanted to ask
what are we
you.
Talking about? Okay, what we got?
We got some news. We have some news that is broken within the last couple days, and
There's news.
There is.
There was a shooting at a high school football game last night. That's sad, Ray. Don't bring that up during a podcast. Well, you can't tell everyone that no one got hurt. That's good. I mean, let's take that back. People got hurt. They got shot, but no one is going to die.
No, and that's our thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Tony Danza. Thoughts and prayers out goes to you.
Wow. Yeah.
Victims.
How to show someone that you care by doing a terrible Tony Danza impression.
And a burp right afterwards.
And a burp. I was at a high school football game last night too, but there was no guns.
Yeah.
There's no shooting. There may have been guns, but there's no shooting, which is good.
We've talked about this before. Like, I think there should be a cutoff to like going to high school football games. Like, unless you're a parent, if you're over 25 and still going to high school football games,
screw you, Ray. Screw you, Ray.
There should be a registry. I'm just telling you.
No. Right. You know that. Not only that, but you can only get tickets if you're like a parent. And I was able to get a ticket because I know a guy who knows a guy. So
that's even weirder.
I know. Isn't it even weirder? Yeah.
That's so creepy.
But you know what? No. It's fine. It's a community team, right? It's a community team. The drive-through where I buy my beer is called the Quaker Stop, right? It's a whole community thing here in New Philadelphia. And the New Philadelphia. Hey, I was at the game, and guess who they play? They play Steubenville. Anyone who knows anything about high school football in Ohio knows Steubenville. You don't know anything about Steubenville?
They're
a powerhouse. They're good every single year, and Philly shut them out 31-0. So
I was going to say that.
Good for that.
That I know of the Steubenville High School incident that happened years ago.
Yeah, there's a documentary called Roll Red Roll, and that is about that's about that. Yeah, and it's very sad.
Martin is from Steubenville.
And Dean Martin and Jimmy the Greek.
Yeah, was he? I thought he was from New York.
No, he's from Steubenville originally.
Wow, which goes to show Steubenville, land of very many racists. What?
But no, you're probably right. It probably is a little sad that I go. I mean, it is, but the thing is, I like football, right? And you know what? It was really cool to go to a live sporting event. I've been jonesing to go to a live sporting event, so
that's funny.
I like that. I could leave. I could get out and go see someone play sports.
Because like I think of the last time I was at a high school hockey game, like to watch, I was like maybe 25, 20, maybe 24. And my old hockey team still had some guys that were freshmen when I was a senior on there. So I wanted to go support them. They lost. I think they actually lost to Gilmore, which Gilmore's a hockey powerhouse to begin with in this state. They get a lot of people from outside the school or outside of the city of Mayfield to come to just to play hockey. But I don't know. I'm like, that's for the kids and the parents. Like I graduated. I'm done. Wipe my hands of it and keep moving.
Well, not only that, right? I will go to see high school sporting events of schools that I did not go to. I just go to watch the games, man.
Well, again, I'm not.
I'm just a little less creepy.
Preference.
I think, and maybe not.
Are you?
I understand,
on any of the
man.
girls?
No, I don't even talk to people.
Okay,
Like,
well then that's
except,
even weirder. No.
except last night, our buddy Scott Corbin was there. And I sat next to Scott.
Oh,
But
okay. At least you
that's
had somebody to go with. Like that's
well, I
understandable.
didn't have anyone to go with. I just happened to see him there.
Oh, okay.
So.
That would be an interesting time.
And I couldn't really talk to him because you're not really supposed to sit right next to people, right?
Yeah.
So it's okay. I just want to see the game. Usually I go, I just sit in the corner by myself, watch the game, go home.
Yeah. I like it, my friend. Again, I'm not, it's just, I have the way I think. It's just,
I know, but the thing is, I'm not doing it to be creepy. I'm going to watch sports, right?
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? I didn't even play football at Philly. So it's not like one of those guys who'd be like, you know what? Back when I played, I would have made that tackle. That's not me at all because I didn't even play football.
I loved those guys in high school when
those guys are hilarious, though. And they're actually hilarious to sit around.
Yeah.
The ones that would like scream. Like,
for no reason.
They scream at kids for missing a tackle, right? You're like, this kid fucking sucks. And their parents are next to him like, we know he does suck. Like,
he tries.
He tried, though.
You're
right. He's grounded. Right.
I mean, the braces on his knees, we haven't really been able to, but he definitely tries to run with them on.
Jeez, man. You went dark quick.
I did, because that's how I make things funny.
So what's this news, Ray?
One of the biggest free agent, in my opinion, biggest free agent signings in MMA history has occurred for UFC 255. We have an alternate by the name of Mr. Bellator himself, Michael Chandler, signed with the UFC and will be in Abu Dhabi, man, to be an alternate or try and find a fight in Abu Dhabi, man. Like, this is awesome. Good for Michael. I'm really happy about this.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. For anyone who doesn't know who Michael Chandler is, number one, I'd like to congratulate you on your undying loyalty to the UFC. because if you don't know who Michael Chandler is, you only watch the UFC. You will not watch any other fights. Because Michael Chandler has been one of the best lightweights in the world. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, Eddie Alvarez was another one, but Eddie Alvarez came to the UFC and he was a champion there before he left again. But I'll have headphone issues
and
here.
Also, Michael Chandler beat Eddie Alvarez.
They split, didn't they have?
Yeah. But he still has a victory over Eddie Alvarez. Yeah.
He's good. He's very good. He's been in Bellator for like 10 years. He won his last fight against Ben Henderson, right?
Yeah.
No, that guy's a monster. He's 34, so he's still got fights in him.
Yeah.
Which is good. So it's a good time for him to come to the UFC. And they obviously threw him back right up to the top, or at least in their minds, right? You're thinking this guy's going to be one of the guys because they said, hey, as icing to his contract, like, hey, come down to Abu Dhabi, get in shape, be on weight, just in case one of these guys goes down. And we'll let you fight for a title in your first fight, which is kind of nuts. But, I mean, it's probably just a little icing for the signing there. And most likely he won't fight anyone. But, and these days of the pandemic and the bubbles, you kind of have to do that for a big main event. You kind of have to have an alternate. Either bring someone extra, which you're doing, or have a plan. Like maybe a guy from the co-main event or someone else in that division will get that fight if they wanted it. You have to do that now because you can't just fly somebody in right away because of the bubbles. So, no, it's a great move. It's a smart move. He knocks people out, but he has great wrestling pedigree. That's his number
very
one
much
thing.
so, yeah.
I'm excited to hit for him to fight anybody, probably in the top 5, 10 would probably be his first fight.
Yeah.
If he doesn't fight for a title, so.
And I mean, like you said, he's been with Bellator for basically his entire career. Mm-hmm. Former multiple-time champion in that organization. And the thing with this guy is too, like, he's had bumps in the road. Like, he really has. I mean, we all remember the if you've never watched a Bellator card, hats the fuck off to you, dude. Like, how do you not? But Michael Chandler in Madison Square Garden loses, I believe, the title at the time because his foot gave out.
To Primus. How do you say
that? Primus. Yeah, Primus. Man.
But then he fought him again and beat him, right?
Yeah, it made him look like a fool. Right. But at the same time, like, there are so many, like, highlight moments with Michael Chandler in Bellator alone, and hopefully Dana White and WME are smart enough to buy every Michael Chandler clip they can from Scott Coker and Bellator.
I don't think that's how it works, man.
I mean, pay for it a little bit. Get some highlights of the kid to show.
I don't know if they'll even make those deals. Did they make those deals when Eddie came over? Or they had like fights from other organizations too, because he fought from other places.
Yeah.
Hector Lombard, that was another one.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you look at it though. Is you gotta just nail home that this guy is legitimately a top 5 walking in.
Well, we're telling you, you don't listen to our podcast, damn it. We're telling you.
Yeah.
Michael Chandler is the real deal, man.
Dude, he's
for real.
If you're thinking right now, who the fuck is Michael Chandler and why did the UFC sign him? First of all, congratulations on having head trauma from a lot of smacks to the head as a kid, because you're an asshole. Second of all,
they could just not know. Like I said, they could just watch the UFC. I know people who only watch casually, so they only watch the UFC.
Yeah,
that's cool. But we love you guys. We love you. Everyone's welcome here. Awesome. We want you all. We're here to educate you, right?
But in our special way. Your lack of knowledge.
That too. But we're telling you, no, it's all right if you don't know who he is, but know who he is now, because he's a beast, and you're gonna find out when he starts fighting these big names, man.
Like I said, he should be already ranked in the top 10 minimum.
Well, I think they make him take a fight first, but I mean, as far as they're concerned, he is like he's gonna get a top 5, top 10 fight. So,
and I mean, like you said, also signing a UFC contract to go to probably outside of Conor and Khabib, this is one of the most anticipated UFC fights of all time. Like, this is a huge fight for Justin Gaethje and Khabib Nurmagomedov already, because the ratings are going to be through the goddamn roof. Now you throw in Michael Chandler to the mix. I mean, this is basically, I hate to use I know you don't like me using wrestling references often, but this is Hogan turning heel. Like, this is like the shot in the arm to not only Michael's career, but the UFC, because they just pulled off a coup on Bellator because Bellator is not running anything right now. So it's basically, we just signed one of your biggest boys, or they are running, but
they are, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, we still got one of your biggest like stars, the guy. I mean, they called him a franchise player for years.
He was.
Yeah. He was Bellator.
He was a homegrown guy, man. I mean, he only had a couple fights when he came in, and it ended up being the champion.
Yeah.
For a long time. His last loss was to Patricio Pitbull, who is their current champion and is also a monster, right? Like, so if anyone wants to say, "Oh, hasn't fought anyone," that's because you don't know these fighters. He's fought Ben Henderson, who was UFC champion, correct?
And
beat him twice.
Yeah.
He beat Eddie Alvarez, UFC champion, right? He beat Rick Hahn, Judica Olympian, right? Like, who was great. I think he was undefeated at the time. Rick Hahn was a really good fighter. Yeah, I mean, dude, he's fought everyone they had, and beat a lot of them. Yeah.
And
Patricio Pitbull did beat him, but Patricio Pitbull is also a monster.
Yeah.
Not really, and it'd be the same thing if we got him to come over. So,
and that's the thing. Like, you look at this whole.
I say we. I'm into UFC. I shouldn't say we. That sounds silly.
Well, where are you in the board?
Yeah, you're right. That's dumb. I shouldn't say that. UFC. That made no sense. I apologize. That was weird. But the UFC.
Like, it's nuts how like this just came over the wire, like, and it shocked me, because I'm kind of like, how do you let a guy just walk? But at the same time, you look at Michael Chandler's career, and it should have happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Michael Chandler coming to UFC.
I'm sure he's getting what he wants, I mean, plus they gave him a chance, really. I mean, he was a homegrown, like I said, he's a homegrown guy. Like, he's been with them for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
But he's at the UFC now, man. So,
and I'm excited. I can see.
And he's 30. He's 34. It's not like he's 40. He's 34, man. He's still got a lot of fight in him, and I'm very excited to see him fight any of those guys in that division.
I'm super pumped for this dude. Like, I'm so happy that he got the opportunity now to be a part of the big organization, the place where he should be, because he needs people. This should be the beginning of the last run kind of thing, where he just fights every single good fighter in the top 10, just like right out the gate. And no, don't throw him cupcakes. Don't throw him guys that he can easily beat. Give him.
They never do that. They never do that. They don't do that.
Sometimes they do.
How often do they do
They
that?
end up being that way.
Well, number one,
I should give that a statement. It ends up being that way where some guys just have mental off days and they look like garbage. I will say that.
who was the first guy that Alvarez fought when he came over?
I don't remember.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. I don't remember who he fought.
But he's dude, he's the backup for the championship fight. So that's one of the two top guys. If one of those guys gets hurt, he's not fighting a cupcake, he's fighting a champion.
Well, no, I'm just saying. But I'm saying it's a good idea, the fact that they are giving him challenges and aren't underestimating him. Hopefully they've done enough, and Dana's been a fan, hopefully, of his for a while and understands this dude is one of the greats of. It's like Gaethje. Gaethje came in, started fighting guys and beating them up. He got knocked out a few times in a couple fights, but Dana gave him an opportunity, and now, I mean, he's fighting for the title. So
his first UFC fight, he lost against Donald Cerrone.
Yes.
But that, especially then, that's a big fight.
Yeah, I was about to say, Donald Cerrone was in his prime shape when he fought Eddie Alvarez, though.
Then it was Melendez, Pettis, Dos Anjos. Yeah, and then, McGregor. That's monsters.
Yeah, and that's how a champion from another organization should be treated. Pure and simple. Mm-hmm. Like, it's the best of the best going at it, and sometimes
especially
there's
Bellator. Bellator is a big organization. You say UFC might be the biggest. Well, they're the biggest because, marketing and whatnot. They do a lot of things right, but they also have a very deep roster, and they're really good at making stars.
Yes.
Which has been harder for other organizations.
Oh,
at least in this country. I know one has a lot of international stars.
Yeah.
But I forget where I was going with that. I told you I was going to keep forgetting what I was saying this whole episode.
It's okay, buddy. You're just
but no, my point is there's no slouch. I mean, there are slouches in Bellator, slouches in the UFC sometimes, but there's nothing wrong with fighting for Bellator. It's a big organization.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good organization.
I would definitely say it's 1A, 1B in this country, at least, where UFC just been name recognition and Bellator.
PFL has some monsters too. Like, I'm saying that because we know fighters. Like, if you say my goal one day is to go to the UFC, but end up signing for a lot of money with Bellator and making a good living fighting for Bellator, you in no way failed, man. Not even a little bit. You didn't fail a little bit.
No, not at all. Not at all, sir. And I'm very excited. Like I said, I'm very excited to see how he does in the UFC because I'm pulling for the guy because I've seen enough of his fights and I've seen a lot. I saw when he fucking broke his foot on pay-per-view in Madison Square Garden and then came back and won the title. I'm so happy for this guy. The fact that he's been able to overcome so many obstacles and still make a career out of being the face of an organization for as long as he did, because he earned that out of all the shit he did in Bellator's ring. It was without a doubt. This is one of those MMA stories that make you kind of warm your heart a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, this is what it is. You're like, yes, the heavens have broken open and manna is coming down. Thank you, God. But at the end, for Michael Chandler to finally go into the big show, it shows that, the good guys who work their asses off can actually make, to where people can see him more on an international level rather than, maybe CBS Sports Network,
Which, that's where Bellator's moving now, right?
Yeah.
Man, damn, they move constantly. This is probably where they're going to stay, you'd assume. This is the biggest network they've been with.
Yeah.
What they were with Spike and MTV, right? And then Paramount, which is what Spike used to be.
Yeah.
That might not be in the right order. I think it was MTV first, but
it was MTV first because that was when Bully Beatdown was going.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The old Mayhem Miller days.
Mayhem's in jail again.
Oh, is he again?
I think so. Yeah, he got arrested recently.
Yeah,
I saw him do an interview, and he seemed like he was trying to get his life together. And then I heard something else happen, and I'm like, that sucks, man. That's unfortunate. Because I'd love to have him on this show.
Me too. I would love to have him.
Also, just for his life, it's unfortunate because you're hoping that he was gonna, straighten it up a bit.
I was a huge fan of his.
So was I.
Big time. And I like EA MMA. I always played as him because and like played in Dream and shit. I
From
love.
from parts unknown,
Yeah,
Jason Mayhem Miller.
I love that guy.
Did
He's
a nickname ever describe someone as well as Mayhem describes that guy? It's perfect.
Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, if you want to talk about like Tyson-esque figures in personality only, Mayhem Miller is one of those guys where you're just like, will you just make it, please? Like,
Yeah.
especially like losing to Michael Bisping the way he did.
Well, he got hurt, right? He looked okay for a minute, then he blew his knee out, right?
Yeah,
And that CB Dalloway fight after that was terrible. He was
yeah.
hurt bad. You could tell. It's just unfortunate. I watched one of his older fights. He fought Robbie Lawler in some organization and subbed him like in the third round. That was a really good fight.
Nice. I
Yeah.
always liked his fight versus Sakuraba. That's one
Yeah,
of those
Sakuraba.
fights where you could tell Mayhem was on fucking point, and against a guy like Sakuraba too.
Right. No one who knows anything about fighting will say that guy isn't skilled, especially on the ground. He was nuts his whole career, but it sure was fun to watch, and he was sure as hell skilled on the ground, man.
Fuck yeah. And personality to boot. You want to talk? We were talking marketing. Like Mayhem Miller markets himself so well, and yet he just, it's one of those things where you're like, why doesn't he get more recognition? Oh, and you're like, why doesn't he get more recognition? And then you see him, and you're like, oh, that's why. I get it. Okay. Let's go over to the Eddie Alvarez train, shall we? Like, it's like Mayhem's train is missing a few wheels and spitting sparks out. Let's get on the Dana White train. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's comfy and has sleeper cabins.
Dude, but no, I mean, everyone obviously knew that guy was talented because number one, he came to the UFC to do Ultimate Fighter because they knew that was a cash grab because of his big personality and Bisping. It was going to be a great season. I remember watching that season. It was just as entertaining as I hoped it to be.
That was one of the only Ultimate Fighters I actually watched through all the way. Cause I don't know, like I like to watch the fights at the end, but I don't watch like the storyline part of it. It's weird. I love wrestling, but at the same time, I don't like storylines in my MMA. I just don't know something about it.
Well, it seems like, with guys like Mayhem and Bisping, it's real. Like all that beef's real.
Oh, yeah.
They don't make shit up. That's the thing about those guys. But they brought him over to fight Bisping, who is, a big name, obviously. And the first time they brought him over, they had him fight GSP right after he got beat by Sarah.
Yeah.
Like he had his title taken from him, and they gave him Jason Miller. And then he didn't fight in the UFC again until that Bisping fight years later.
Yeah, I think though, like that fight would have been crazy, mate. Like just to see possibly, because did they fight? No, they didn't fight. GSP and Mayhem Miller.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
I'd have to see that. I don't remember that.
Yeah,
that must have been in my life of flux where I was like not watching MMA for. I went on like a year of not watching MMA and it hurt.
They were both like in their early 20s when that happened. Like it was right after GSP lost the title.
Okay.
And then Jason Miller came over, fought him, lost the decision, and then he wasn't in the UFC again until he fought Bisping. He just decided to sign elsewhere. Obviously, they obviously knew he was tough because they gave him GSP in his first fight.
Yeah. And he went to a decision, apparently. I'll have to go check that out. I want to watch that fight now. I feel like a cash right now. That's not good.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know that, man.
Yeah, no, it must have been during like that time in my life where like I really wasn't doing anything but being in a relationship, which never do, kids. Never do.
Listen to the happy man, Ray Hyclak.
I'm happy on the outside. Oh man, you know what else makes me happy on the inside, sir?
Is it fights, Ray?
It's a fight card happening Saturday. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The top five, the five, and Kevin Holland and Darren Stewart. Okay.
I'm laughing because I'm so excited for that fight.
All six of these fights. This is a pay-per-view. This is a pay-per-view for the price of $9.99. This is an NWA TNA pay-per-view in 2002 for like an app, and it's not even this should be on ESPN. Like this should.
It is, isn't it?
No, it's on ESPN Plus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on ESPN Plus. This should be an ESPN card every Saturday for a year. Like I would watch the replay of this
No,
because of the fact of how many stars are on this bitch.
you can't get it completely for free, Ray. You got to pay your $5 a month to get it.
I don't.
All right. Got to pay the plus. Dude, you know what I love about this card, Ray? A lot of things. But it's like, especially the main card, you see the fighting style of all these fighters on the card. Every one of them is murder.
Yeah.
That's their fighting style. Like, why do they try to fight? They try to kill the other person. That's how they fight, all of them. So
there's a few Tasmanian devils in here. There,
even the Marcos Dern fight will be fun. I mean, Dern's a tough wrestler, but that's
Marcos is gonna be outrageous, dude.
Yeah, Marcos is one of those people. I mean, her record's 10-9-1, but she's tougher than that. Yeah, she's fought monsters.
Yeah,
she's real tough.
I mean, we got Johnny Walker, Ryan
Spann. Ah, someone's going to sleep. That's probably going to be Johnny Walker. I don't know. He's coming off 2 losses. We got Johnny Walker coming off 2 losses. The last one was a decision.
That knockout,
Ryan Spann's out like 8 wins in a row. He knocked out Sam Alvey not too long ago. Spann is fun to watch, man. I really hope we get A-game Johnny Walker, though, because if we do, that fight's going to be nuts.
That's going to be one of the most wild fights. If Johnny Walker is completely clear-headed, he's gotten over that knockout that he got that happened to him a couple fights ago. Dude.
Look at my face, Ray.
You look excited. You look like Christmas just came.
It's the Christmas face. It is. Because what about the first fight, right? The first fight on this main card. Kevin Holland. Last time we talked about Kevin Holland, what did I say? I said he's my new favorite person. I said I'm writing his name on my Trapper Keeper. I love this guy. Kevin Holland is a man. In his last fight, like I said, I wish it would have lasted forever because it was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's fighting Darren the Dentist Stewart. What's more intimidating nickname than the dentist? What does he do? He knocks your teeth out. What the hell do you think he does? Or sends you to the dentist? Either one. He's sick. He's coming off a big knockout like a month ago, right? He fought recently.
Yeah, he was on maybe I want to say it was like 5 cards ago. He came in, just fucking did his work and got the fuck out of there. Darren Stewart is a savage. I'm excited for both of these guys to be on basically, what amounts to a pay-per-view card, because this is the kind of recognition they need as fighters, because
this card is so fun. Oh my god.
I mean,
just looking at these names, I'm like, oh man, I've said it 1,000 times in the last 2 minutes, man. But it is, dude, listen, everyone. If you don't have ESPN Plus, find somebody who does. All right.
Get a password. Yeah. Get a password.
If you know me, get a hold of me. If I like you enough, you come see it at my house. Like this is gonna be fun, man. You know what? I'm actually least excited for the main event than all the other fights, and I'm excited for the main event.
I think what we should do, and I'm gonna say this right on the podcast right now, tomorrow, Tim Danko's house, we are doing an interview, and then we can do a live stream of the UFCs. Oh shit, son! I think that might be a good idea.
Doing what? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can pull it off tomorrow.
Getting denied. No,
maybe we'll do that eventually.
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna be able to pull that off tomorrow, but eventually
we do live stream. We will be planning live streams for big pay-per-views coming up as well. But no, man, yeah, and also stick with, because we do have 2 interviews coming up in 2 weeks. The one this Saturday, and then next week will be our huge mega guest. Which is insanely. I don't know how he pulled it off, to be honest. Follow at Bro Plata to find out who it is, because we're posting this video right after we finish.
Is it Shamzat Shamaev?
Shamzat. No, it's Hamzat Himayev.
Chimev.
Hamzat Himayev.
Hamzat Himayev. All right. Is it Himayev or is it
Himayev? Yes.
I can't, man. Even Mershart, I always mess his name up. I have to look at it.
Yes.
Let's call him Chimev and Mershart. Dude, we talked about that the other day, but
yeah,
I'm very excited for this because I'll say it again. What they did is they actually double booked Chimaev. They said fight Mershart, and if you beat Mershart, you're gonna fight Damian Maia. Which I think they already gave Damian Maia a date, so he's on a card. I think. Yeah. I don't know which one, but So Mearshard's sitting there like, what about me? Have I done nothing? Like, who am I, right? But they obviously gave him that fight because he's a step up compared to the last two people he fought. And Mearshard's slick on the ground, unlike the guy who he finished on the ground. And he's been around. He has so much experience, man. I think he's like a plus 300 dog, and he is Ray would say it. He's the underdog of the card, Ray. He's my underdog of the card. You know what? I usually say don't put money on. You know what, Dom? Because don't put money on my picks because I don't want to get yelled at. But I would say that if I was going to put money on a fight, I probably would put money on this fight.
I'm gonna try and find a way to possibly do that because I want Mearshart to win this fight.
Oh, so do I. Very much so. And if he loses, I mean, it happens. I mean, that just means Chimaev is as good as everybody thinks he is, and that's fine. That's fine. Good for him. You know, I'm not saying that's definitely not going to happen. I'm just really pulling for Mearshart, and I really think that he might teach this kid that he's not quite where he thinks he is. And I hope that happens, or at least a really good fight. I mean, this kid is definitely talented, but Mearshart, the point is Mearshart is a big step above the guys he's fought so far and has so much experience.
Yeah, man, and I definitely see this fight going to the decision mark because of the fact that Gerald Mearshart is such a motherfucker and so tough and he's seen a lot of top competition in the UFC already, so he's prepared to already blow the fire off of the candle that is Khamzat Chimaev, and we can actually finally see though, man, because I've got my reservations about Khamzat. I think that he is a beast.
But we're going to find out tomorrow.
Yeah. Once he gets into the top echelon of the fucking middleweight division, you look at it and you're kind of like, okay, what has he done? He's pulled these massively quick finishes out of his ass like a fucking magician pulling a rabbit. And you just look at it and go, okay, let's see if I always my OCD gives me like that thing of threes where like 3 is like the main, like as soon as I see something 3 times, I kind of understand it. I get it. And I need to be there. I won't repeat things 3 times. That is something that pisses me off completely. Like I just got a shiver thinking about it. But Khamzat has had 2 fights in the UFC, or 2 or 3 fights in the UFC so far.
2, just the 2, and they were within 10 days of each other.
Yeah, and he was fresh as a daisy for a lot of them. I'm not gonna lie, or for each fight. So
yeah, and he probably will be for this one because he's not a natural middleweight. He's fighting middleweight, and he's a natural welterweight, so he's not going to cut very much. So
no,
that'll be a thing. But Mearshard's been cutting this weight a long time, so
and that's what I'm saying. The gas tank is going to be a big factor in this because of the fact that he is a natural 170 pounder.
Also, but he hasn't fought 3 rounds, at least not against somebody like Mearshart.
But that's why I'm picking Mearshart. I think Mearshart's going to control the pace, make him go into the 2nd and 3rd round deep, and then we'll see what Khamzat can do in a long 3-round fight in a marathon.
This is my call for this fight. It's also what I want to happen. So, take that for what it is. But Mearshart, 3rd round submission.
I can see that happening. Mearshart is,
because for that happening, that means everything we kind of want to see will happen too, right? He drags him into deep waters, right? And then at that point, it probably is back and forth, good fight maybe, and then Mearshart gets him at the end of the fight with his great ground game and his experience and the fact that he's been there before a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, this kid is 8-0.
8-0, yes.
8-0. Jared Mearshart, 31-13.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, like he is no dummy and has a very good record.
44 fights.
I know that is a very good record for 44 fights, man. Like, and to me, if Gerald Mearshart brings this up and just like completely throws, Khamzat into the deep water, I could see it ending in the 3rd round with Khamzat being a little tired with that extra 15 pounds on his body. And
possibly,
if it does, awesome. That'll make him hopefully work a little bit better. You know what I'm saying?
I will say that it's apparent that I'm not the only one who likes this fight as an underdog, because I know this opened up like a plus 500 for Mearshart.
Wow.
And it's maybe not quite that high. It was higher than it is now. I mean, it's keep getting down. So people are betting on Mearshart. They like this pick too. I mean, it's plus 300 is pretty big. I mean, it's 3-1, right?
Yeah.
So we don't really know what I mean, it's very possible this kid is so much of the real deal that he's going to crush this guy. We're all going to be like, whoa, all right, brother, you the man. Okay. Have fun with Damian Maya. He's next. But the thing is, just because we haven't seen it and we know how good Mearshart is, so I'm probably more excited for that. I don't know, man. I'm excited for every fight.
Well,
I can't pick. And the next one. The next one, Ray.
He's like a kid on Christmas today, folks.
It is. Have you seen? I mean, I'm usually excited for these cards, but have you seen me more excited for a card?
I have not seen you this happy.
I'm not really happy. What's that called? Happy. Call it excited though.
Well, I call it being happy for a fight. I mean, it's. I've not seen you this happy in a long time for a fight card. Since we've started doing this, this is the most excited Tim Danko I've ever seen. Like, this is awesome to watch. But yeah, man, let's talk about this. Donald Cerrone versus Nico fucking Price.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Of course, like, this is definitely the fight to make. They got this right. I'm actually surprised that I didn't think of this before, because I've called a bunch of matches before where I've got a couple right?
Yeah.
In the past. I missed this one. Mainly, I didn't know if Cerrone was going to fight 55 or 170. He's fighting 170, but at 170, this is the obvious fight. Because both these guys, man, every single one of their fights, win or lose, it's fun to watch them lose because of the kind of fights they put on.
Oh yeah, they're both high energy strikers. They're both guys who have just lights out power to them. Nico, I think, is a little bit more of the faster, wilder striker out of the two. I think Cowboy, if you really look at his style, can be a very great counter puncher. So.
It is.
It's complementary to this card right here, man.
As wild and crazy as how much of a quote unquote cowboy is, he has always been really composed and really technical.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons he's so great. But yeah, Price is a wild man. But also, man, he's had some weird wins, weird finishes. He knocked out Randy Brown from the bottom. Like, who does that? Who knocks out somebody from the bottom? Nico Price, apparently. What was the other one he had? An up kick.
Oh, yeah. Was that James Vick?
I think so.
Yes.
Sure.
I call it every time an up kick knockout happened, because I'm trying to think who I think it was James Vick is who he knocked out with an up kick. I can't remember off the top of my head, but
I'll take a look.
But no, I mean, Nico Price, what can you say about Nico Price that hasn't been said already?
What we're saying pretty much. Yes, sir. It was his last win. It was against James Vick.
Boom! That's why I call an up kick. That's why every time somebody goes in for an up kick, I yell James Vick's name in solidarity. I know how dangerous that foot can be.
And his last loss.
My dog's barking. Yeah.
Oh, it's all right. We're all good. I was just gonna say that his last fight, he lost to Vicente Luque, who's a monster. And
I just yelled at my dog, and it showed up on camera. Yay!
That's all right. Then he lost to Jeff Niels, but he loses to assassins.
Yeah,
those guys are assassins, and he needs to win himself. So this will, man, it's gonna be great. I want Cerrone to get a win. He needs one. He hasn't had one in a while, and I don't want him to think about retiring. I don't know if he is or not, but.
That was actually the one big point I wanted to bring up, is the fact that, like, much like the main event, to be honest with you, these are must-win fights for both guys. And
you mean Cerrone and Woodley?
Cerrone and Woodley, yeah, I forgot to use the second name there, but Tyron Woodley and Donald Cerrone are on that proverbial bubble. In my opinion,
they're still gonna. I mean, if Cerrone still wants to fight, they're gonna pay him to fight because everyone likes to watch him fight.
Well, yeah.
Unless it was really sad, which I doubt it will be.
Even
if he gets knocked out, probably.
Up.
Yeah, maybe. If he does, I don't think so. I think Woodley is a little different though. But before we get to that fight, I will say this: did you see what what USADA did? They honored. They honored. They called it Donald Cerrone for 50 tests without a positive test or any issue.
Yeah, I saw him get his chip. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's how prevalent cheating is in MMA. That they give you a chip or something for not cheating.
Yeah,
you get awards for not cheating. That's not a problem, is it?
Culture rules. I love it.
No, I don't know if it's just that. It's just that That's just how prevalent it is. Like everyone
Yeah.
else is, it's like a lot of people are doing it. So thank you so much for not doing it, for
And,
not being a pain in our ass.
well, yeah, but he doesn't ever strike me as that kind of guy where it can be,
No.
a total. He doesn't seem like a total dick, and especially now that after he almost died scuba diving, like he's even more of an upbeat chap. I mean, if you look at him and how he goes, Donald Cerrone. If you're watching this podcast and you do not like Donald Cerrone as a fighter or a person, who hurt you, first of all? Second of all, like why are you acting like that? Please take your medication, grandpa. Like, stop it. He's one of the nicest fighters in the UFC, probably in MMA history, to really, and he's just, and like we talked about with like Nerd Assassins, he is like a silent, like, I'll buy you a beer just because I'm afraid of you silently kind of assassin. Like, please don't hurt me, sir. I don't have a wallet. I only have cards. Thank you. Have a good day. I love Donald Cerrone so much. And to watch him and Connor fight, even back, like when that happened, I was still happy as a pig in shit just to see them walk out to the octagon at the same time before, shoulder checks got involved in MMA, which was weird to me. Still
Hey,
weird.
man. Now you're seeing more guys do it. That's usually how it goes. You see one guy successful with it, and then it's copycat. The same thing happens in just about every sport, right?
Oh yeah. It's and I love the fact that it was like hockey style checks almost. Like
Yeah.
just getting inside in the corner with the puck and just, shoving that shoulder. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You know what is a beautiful thing as well, sir?
I don't know. That's your transition voice. You
It
notice you
is.
do that? Do you know what else? Transition voice.
And you can listen to my transition voice on Anchor FM, Spotify, and Google and Apple Podcasts. Yeah, that's right. Along with this sexy video that we're posting to Facebook.
Are we
And
posting this to Facebook?
today I am officially every episode of Bro Plata will be up on Facebook and Twitter. We're going to post full videos, IGTV too. I'm going to post them on IGTV as well.
I didn't know, man. I mean, this
I
is how this is how I always look for every podcast. But if I knew for sure, because you said that we weren't going to be putting a lot of these on the YouTube.
Well, I'm starting to see people. We talked about it, that we started to see people post stuff to Facebook. So why not be like, what do they call that? Where it's like catching up with Smiths or whatever it is.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Yes, we're gonna keep up with the Joneses and give your MMA doses a Jones, because we're awesome like that. We're great.
Was this Ray? Remind me, was this my idea?
It was. It absolutely was. Yes,
I thought so.
Tim Danko's. It was Tim Danko's idea, and he is a sexy man for making it happen. I'm very happy that we can do this.
That is true. But transition voice.
The transition voice, brought to you by Walter's Anal Bleach Suppositories.
If Tyron Woodley doesn't win this fight, or at least look very, very good in this fight, if he looks the way he did against Gilbert Burns, I'm gonna say, dude, I'm not super excited to see you fight too much anymore. Well, I take that back. I mean, there's still guys he can beat, I'm sure, because he's very good, and it wasn't that long ago he was champion. But my point is, I don't want to see that happen to him again, and I think it actually may. I mean, he looked so bad against Gilbert Burns. Well, I don't know if he looked bad as much as Gilbert Burns looked good, but he got outplayed a lot, very much. That so, he did in that fight.
That he did for sure, dude. And
I'm definitely picking Covington. I'm assuming he's the favorite. And I think that's my guess. I think it's going to happen again. It may be a decision again, but I think Covington's going to get a pretty one-sided win on this one.
Me too. I think this is a step down in competition for Colby Covington at this point, especially coming off of just a massive loss to Kamaru Usman, and still kind of kept it together even with a broken jaw.
Oh shit, that was like in December, wasn't it?
I know. A while ago. Yeah. He hasn't fought in a while, but I mean, he had a broken jaw, so yeah.
That would do it then, won't it? Yeah.
Yeah. He when Kamaru hit him, and you saw his chin move to one side of the octagon. It was definitely, you could tell his jaw was completely shattered. And it was pretty bad. But at the same time, to what you just said, I'm starting to really write a guy like Tyron Woodley off, and I don't think I should. But at the
No.
same time, his last couple fights have not been the Tyron Woodley, and even, I mean, we go back. I hate to say this, but go back to the two Wonder Boy fights where he was waiting to counter at all times with a takedown, and it was the beginning.
I don't think
of that mindset.
I don't think it was. That's just how you got to fight Wonder Boy. That's what I where I put that one. I put that. What was the word I was going to use? Attest that to? Is that what I was trying to say? Is that correct? I don't know.
Yes.
Whatever I was trying to say. Either
way.
Contribute. Thank you. That's good. Contribute that to the fact that that's how you fight Stephen Thompson.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I think the opponent had so much to do with that because it wasn't quite like that against Burns. Burns was just outclassing him.
Well, yeah, but he sort of still showed that I'm going to sit back and wait and do nothing. And I honestly think, like, you know, I hate to be the guy that says this, but I think Tyron's almost like out the door mentally to begin with. I mean, he wants to rap. He wants to do all these things.
Well, who doesn't want to rap, really, Ray? Who doesn't want to be a rapper?
Me, because I'm terrible at it, sir. I know a lot of great rappers, and I'm terrible.
I'm not good at it either, man, but, man, MC Timmy Danks? No?
Timmy Danks.
No? All right.
Everybody, give it up for MC Timmy Danks.
That sounds good. You could be my hype man.
Yeah.
Ray Flying Hyclak. But no, he lost to Usman and Burns. Those are the two losses he's had. But then right before that,
Usman, like, he didn't.
So, all right, it's been 2 years since his last win, which 2 years ago he submitted Darren Till.
Yes.
So,
which was a great finish. Like, I'm not saying that he isn't capable of great things. I just think he's checking out a lot more than what the old Tyron Woodley would have done. I mean, even against Darren Till, that was a fantastic showing of jiu-jitsu, winning by a Darce choke and really making it look unbelievable and getting his black belt in the middle of the octagon. Like, a great accomplishment for him.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Usman, I think, tapped into something with him where, like, it kind of made him doubt himself. And if we don't see that, if we see the Tyron Woodley that used to come out like the champion of the world, we're going to get a great fight out of him. I just don't think it's going to happen. Pure and simple. I honestly don't think it's going to happen.
But how great would it be for that division if he did?
It would be a fire starter.
Fun, wouldn't it?
It would be a fire starter.
And crush Covington. It'd be great.
Oh, my God. It would shake everything up again. Like, it would make the welterweight division interesting because of the fact that he just beat the guy who lost to Kamaru Usman in a dramatic and hugely one-sided fashion. And it would put him, in my opinion, back in the title picture. He would probably have to fight a couple more guys, I would say. At least one, especially after the Gilbert Burns fight.
Are you saying that last Covington-Usman fight was one-sided because it got finished late? I mean, he did get busted up late, but that was a close fight beforehand.
It was a close fight, but at the same time, Kamaru kind of started to show a little bit more of, I want this bitch more than you. Like,
well, and that's what you do. And then he finished him. But before that, it was a close fight.
It was. And it takes a couple rounds for you to really establish that. I would say in a title fight, I give guys like 3 rounds and I look at what they're doing.
That's what champions do, Rick. That's what champions do. That's what John Jones has done in his last 2 title fights against the Santos and Reyes, right? Even though he won either of those fights or not, yeah. But the thing is, that's what a champion does. You know, at least rounds 4 and 5, he comes out and he's the man.
Yeah, and Colby, you know, coming out, you know, with the Kurt Angle music and all that kind of stuff. It's a nice show. But like he definitely wasn't ready for a guy like Kamaru Usman who just has that championship mentality. You know, I think Colby has definitely big fight mentality, but for championship, sometimes you get guys who are way more savage than you'll ever be, dude. Like, and it just happens that way. But I'm not taking anything away from Colby's career at all. He just didn't have it that night.
He has 2 losses, and one was recent. The other one I don't remember when it was.
But that's what I'm saying. There's times where there's guys that want it more than you, And that fight was definitely a showing of Kamaru Usman wanting that belt way more than Colby Covington. Again, I'm not taking away from his 15-2 career. He has had some really amazing knockouts and really amazing finishes. So he is who he is, and he's a sexy bitch, and I think he's
He
going to win
is.
this.
He is. Yeah, so do I. But how excited are we, Ray, for him to make that apparent, that obvious, we know it's coming, political speech that he's going to make, like after he wins that fight? That's going to be a fun time. The
I'm
character that
waiting.
is Colby Covington.
Yeah, I was about to say, I call it conservative Colby, uh, where or right side of the track Colby. It's definitely I'm waiting for another like my dude Donald Trump Jr. really like gave me a call. I'm waiting for that shit.
Let's call him heavy right hand Colby.
heavy right Colby Covington. Oh my god, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight just because I want to see how Colby comes back after the broken jaw. And I want to see what Tyron does after losing to Gilbert Burns, because these guys both have losses in most recent losses, and give it up and see what happens. Let's party, dude, because they're two top welterweights still.
Man, broken jaw, man. Any injury is tough to come back from, but broken jaw, man. Could you imagine? I mean, you have to be so cautious about when you start sparring again and everything.
Yeah.
And man, that has to be tough. And I'm sure now whatever doctors he had, are well aware of what he does. But I mean, I don't know how many doctors would say, you're good. You can get punched in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, they are, like I said, they're aware of what he does for a living, but
it's probably why we haven't seen
obviously,
him since then, because of the fact that he's been getting it wired. I mean, that's
right.
what it's pretty much is.
Man, that has to be rough.
He's sounding like the Tin Man when he's frozen in the Wizard of Oz. Oil can.
deep Wizard of Oz references here in the Bro Plata podcast.
Fuck yeah, nerdy all day, baby. It's fun. Oh my god, man. And this card is definitely going to be a lot of fun to watch. I can't wait to watch this on Saturday or tomorrow, because the fact that, like we said, this is a pay-per-view card, and we don't get these this often, where we just get so many savages in a month, and you're like, oh my god, please let there just be more. And going in to October and November, you want to talk about some savage shit, man. Like, the pay-per-views are amazing.
Oh yeah, man. There's a bunch of cards, man, that have some great fights on them. Man, Ortega Korean Zombie is going to be so much fun. I'm excited for that.
Zombie. Love it, dude. This is that's on October 17th, dude. And like we will talk about it more in depth, but it's gonna. I mean, Christoph Jotko's on this card. John Phillips, Park Young John is on this one. Let's see what else we have. Right now, at least I'm looking on the Googles. So
okay, we didn't talk about. We talked about last episode about the whole Poirier Ferguson thing that not happening. And I'm looking for a fight for Ferguson, and we didn't think maybe Michael Chandler, and now we're thinking. Didn't you think? Well, maybe Michael Chandler and Ferguson. That'd be pretty cool.
Well,
but apparently, according to the UFC, Ferguson doesn't want to fight. They said after the Poirier thing fell through, they said they couldn't get a hold of him. So or something like that. So apparently he just doesn't want to fight someone else. I don't know. But either way, he's not fighting on that card.
Official statement that I actually took a screenshot of from MMA Logic. Give them a thing because we're using. I took a screenshot of their thing. Dana White has confirmed that Tony Ferguson will no longer be competing at UFC 254. It appears what happened was that Tony Ferguson went to bat for Dustin Poirier, which he did. He did go on Twitter and make sure that, like, to use the hashtag pay the man, and refusing to fight anyone else as a way to lobby for Poirier to get a pay increase, which I think he earned. Like,
this is what I give Ferguson, man.
Yeah.
This is me giving him a round of applause, man.
Fuck yeah.
I like it.
Tony Ferguson is, and we want you on the show, Tony, but at the same time, like, Tony Ferguson to me is one of the still best fighters in that 155-pound division,
For
and
sure.
one day deserves to be champion of that division. Just based on like the lineup of blood or the river of blood that has been like spilled at his fucking elbows in Wing Chun style. Like, that guy deserves a legitimate shot at a world title, and he hasn't received one. I don't know why. Habib's ducking him. Habib's ducking him. Sorry. That's
Dude, come on, man. You know, there's been
ducking
so
him.
many.
Ducking him.
One of Ferguson got hurt one time, right?
Well, I was gonna say in defense there was that one time, but still ducking.
Come on, man.
And this was also still on the MMA logic thing. So when the UFC offered Michael Chandler as an opponent, Ferguson refused, by the way, thus leaving Chandler as the alternate for Habib versus Gaethje. And
I still like what he did because he's got his fellow fighters back, and so you got to pay this dude.
Yeah,
and you know, he's also saying, hey, I'm a pretty dangerous guy. You need to pay this guy what he deserves. If you're going to fight someone dangerous like me, I like that, you know.
yeah.
But at the same time, I would really like to see Ferguson and Chandler, though. I would have liked that. Though, if it wasn't going to be him and Poirier, him and Chandler would have been nice. But I still like what Ferguson did there. I just would like to see. I liked it when that fight was on the card. I was very excited for it.
Me too.
Ferguson was on the card, period.
And we were talking about that possibility on a past episode of Poirier and Ferguson when that was first being talked about. Not even like before the contract broke down or the contract signing broke down. And to be honest with you, there's only a few more fights I want to see with Tony Ferguson where I'm like, I want and I always watch a Tony Ferguson fight.
Oh, me too.
But like the ones I'd really want to see, obviously we just brought it up, Chandler, Poirier, and I want that fucking Habib fight to happen. I want it more than life itself. We've been fucked out of it 6 times now, and one of them was for injury, and a couple of them was because they just couldn't make it fucking happen. And it's annoying.
I mean, honestly, I think I said this before, but I just don't see it happening. I actually don't think it's going to happen now. Because especially if Khabib is being very serious about this 30-0 thing, I don't think it's going to happen.
Ducking. What? Ducking him. Oh, man. I have the cough today and the sneeze that I can't. It's not Rona, folks. It's not Rona, I promise. I think I had that in January, but I'll be fine. Ducking him. Sorry. I had to. Just one more time. Oh,
why? Why do you think he'd be ducking him? Or are you just saying that because it's fun to say?
He's serious about the 30-0, and he knows that Ferguson could be a legitimate threat to that win-loss record.
And Gaethje isn't?
Management is.
Gaethje isn't?
Gaethje definitely is. But I think the biggest obstacle that needs to be, because it hasn't happened, is Habib versus Ferguson. It has to happen sometime. I don't care.
No, it'd be cool, but I'm just asking, why do you think he's ducking him?
I'm joking, you asshole. I'm being a dick. It's what I do best. You know this.
You're allowed to be a dick, but you'd be able to back it up,
right? I don't like or
back
respect Habib Nurmagomedov. I can't help it. I don't like the guy. I've never liked the guy. He's just, to me, there's way more. We'll talk about more of this once UFC 255 or 254. 254?
I think it's 54, yeah.
Let's look it up here. 253 is coming up in a couple weeks. UFC 254, yes. UFC 254. I will open up the floodgates of mental hatred towards Habib Nurmagomedov that day. Listen to that episode, folks. Because 1, I'm probably going to get a lot of complaints for what I say. 2, I hate Habib Nurmagomedov. And 3, I hate Habib Nurmagomedov with a passion that burns with the thing of 1,000 white-hot suns. He is the reason so many dramatic things happened with that card in Madison Square Garden, to the point he had to fight Al Iaquinta. He caused all of that. And I will talk more about that when we get to the UFC 254 card, because I want to hold it in and explain more on my thing. I want people to
because you're holding it in and we're going to save it for later, just a yes or no. You think he had something to do with the commissions telling Holloway he couldn't fight?
No. Oh, no. I'm thinking of the was it I'm trying to think. What card was it where Connor threw the dolly?
That was that card.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I will expunge and expound on what my whole feelings on that is and Habib's personality when we get to that card, because honestly, it will take almost most of that episode to explain and to show like why I do not like him. And I will never like him as a person or a fighter because of everything that he has done. And for some reason, I'm called a hater, which is fine. I'll be a hater of that guy, but I will respect guys like Hamzat Himayev, who's a countryman of his, and a few other people because of the fact that, again, I just don't like him. I will expound on that when we get to UFC 254 because it's just, ugh, to Habib Nurmagomedov. He is nothing. I will save that opinion for later.
Okay. We'll have a fun show on that, Adams, I'm sure.
It's gonna be one of our most viewed episodes ever. I guarantee.
You know what's I just found the card where Shogun and Paul Craig are fighting. That's the Cody Garbrandt card. That's the Figueiredo Garbrandt card. That's going to be on there. That's also, we got Valentino Shevchenko and Jennifer Maia on that card. We have Brandon Moreno and Alex Perez. The other Shevchenko's also fighting. That'd be a good card.
And
so yeah, some good pay-per-views coming up.
Dude,
and the next one is next week.
Forgot that.
With the way this card shaped up, the one that's happening tomorrow, I almost forgot about the one that's happening next Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'll worry about that one on Sunday.
I was about to say we can always and look at. I mean, September 6th, 26th is probably the biggest middleweight fight outside of GSP's return. This is one of the most highly anticipated fights, and we will break this down or preview this coming up, which is Israel Adesanya, Paulo Costa, Dominic Reyes, Jan Blachowicz. Both light heavyweight title and the middleweight title are going to be on the line that night. And just, you want to talk about a mega card. This is, we're having a new era in the light heavyweight division, and also could possibly have a new champion in middleweight in Paulo Costa. But we will give our opinions on that as we get closer and closer. We are looking forward to this weekend, Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley, Donald Cerrone on the card versus Nico Price. If you guys don't watch this, I don't know what your problem is. It's still 2020, bitches. Let's all watch fights and have a great time. We're going to end the show now. We appreciate you guys listening. Always, we need you guys to help us get to 200 plays on our episodes on audio. The countdown to 1,000 is what I want to get to by the end of the year. I feel like we can get to that area by at least January. And then, like I said, keep looking out for video episodes going up on YouTube or YouTube, Facebook. The Facebook ones will be raw audio with the exception of one part taken out, which is the lovely editing of our opening intro, or the not the opening intro, but the ways we use to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Use our cutting method. That will be the only thing taken out. So share us out. Give us a lot of likes because we need it. It makes us feel good to know deep down inside that we are being validated by all of you. And we appreciate you guys for listening to the Bro Plata podcast.
Let us know who you are, man. We're trying that. Yeah.
Hit us up on our Facebook, our Twitter. Let us know
love.
who you are.
Yeah, give us some love, y'all.
And
we love you. We love you.
Absolutely. Tim, do you have any plugs? And also plug your social media as always.
At Dig Danko. Besides that, no, man, I got nothing.
I am at Ray Hyclak, and I will be at the Funny Stop Comedy Club on the 24th of this month for the co-feature contest. I was able to move on yesterday with Brett Thomas and Anthony Mayo. We all moved on to the next round. Brett Thomas, October 1st. And then me and Anthony are on the 24th next week for the co-feature contest. Come see us. Go to funnystop.com to get your tickets. Call the number on the website as well if you don't want to order online. And that is all of my plugs right now. And we appreciate you guys listening. We've had we have great times talking shit about MMA fighters, and
You talk more shit than I do, Ray.
I do
I'm a good
because
guy.
I believe in it.
Yeah.
That's how I'm not a martial artist. No, I'm kidding.
I've been studying Jim Kata. I haven't told anybody that. I've been studying Jim Kata. I'm gonna get a pommel horse in the basement here.
Oh God.
I'm gonna learn Jim Kata.
Have
you seen that movie?
No, I've never seen that movie.
We'll have to talk about it later.
Yeah, I'll watch the movie and we'll talk about it on an episode coming up. And like I said, guys, appreciate you watching every time we post a video. And without a doubt, you are the reason we still do this because honestly, we've lost all sense of complete and utter sexiness. Look at us. Well, look at us.
I'm pretty sexy still. I don't know about you, but all right.
I look like Kevin Ross if he shaved. So
Kevin Ross is another comic, just so you guys know. He just
throwing out references, everybody.
References.
Just deep shit.
All right, Ray. Let's tell everybody bye. Bye, everybody.
All right, guys. Bye.